We all crave strength, we crave peace, clarity, freedom, but few are willing to face the one truth that creates all of it. Consistency, not the glamorous kind people post about. The quiet kind, the kind that demands you show up when your soul screams. Not today, and you move anyway. This isn't motivation. This is discipline in its purest form. The kind that doesn't wait for inspiration. The kind the Stoics lived by. They didn't chase ease. They chased meaning. They believed freedom came not from doing what you feel, but from doing what must be done. Because when your life is built on emotion, you're at its mercy. But when it's built on principle, you become unshakable. This is where transformation begins. Not in passion, but in repetition. Not in excitement, but in endurance. True strength is forged in silence. When no one's watching. When it's boring. When it hurts. And here's the paradox. Consistency doesn't cage you. It frees you. It gives you control over chaos. It makes you the kind of person who moves without needing permission. Because mastery isn't given. It's built through structure, patience, and the daily decision to rise until one day you no longer force yourself to show up. You simply do. Consistency is freedom. And the moment you live by that truth, you become untouchable. Now, let's go deeper. Let's explore what the Stoics discovered when life grew chaotic, when silence grew louder than noise, when strength wasn't just a choice, but a necessity. Because this is where the Stoic path to greatness truly begins. 1. The Stoic path to greatness, finding strength in the chaos. There comes a moment in every person's life when silence becomes louder than noise. A moment when your mind feels heavy, your heart tired, and the world demands more than you can give, but it is in that very moment, when everything seems to fall apart, that the Stoic path truly begins. Most people run from the storm. The Stoic walks through it, because he knows the storm isn't here to destroy him, it's here to shape him. We live in an age of constant noise, opinions, distractions, the endless chase for validation. Yet wisdom has never changed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The obstacle is the way." It means that the things we run from are the very things meant to forge our character. When life throws chaos at you, it's easy to drown in emotion, to react, complain, or break. But the Stoic looks inward and whispers, "This too is within my power." Because control isn't found in the world. It's found in your response to it. The truth is, most people lose not because life is hard, but because they refuse to master themselves. They chase comfort, seek shortcuts, and crave approval. But every philosopher who ever found peace did so through discipline, restraint, and acceptance. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than necessary." How many times have we created pain in our own minds before the event even happened? How many nights have we lost sleep over a problem that never came to pass? We suffer twice, once in imagination and once in reality. The Stoic learns to suffer only once. When you accept that pain is part of the journey, it loses its power over you. Every difficulty becomes a teacher. Every loss, a lesson. Every silence, a chance to hear your own thoughts. The Stoic life isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about transforming it. Anger becomes fuel. Sadness becomes reflection. Failure becomes instruction. You are not the emotion you feel. You are the awareness that observes it. And that awareness is where your strength lives. In this world, people will misunderstand you. They will doubt your motives, twist your words, and sometimes betray your trust. But remember, their judgment belongs to them, not to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." It's not denial. It's liberation. You can't stop people from being cruel. You can't control what others think. But you can decide to stay calm, unshaken, grounded in your purpose. Because your peace is too valuable to trade for their chaos. When you begin to think this way, something shifts inside you. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" You stop seeking pity and start seeking progress. And that shift, that quiet internal rebellion, is the beginning of strength. So, if you're walking through darkness right now, don't curse it, embrace it, let it teach you who you really are. The fire that burns away illusions also reveals the gold beneath. This is the Stoic way, to find meaning where others find misery. To find peace where others find panic. Because everything you face is a chance to become unbreakable. Remember, this pain is not punishment, it's preparation. The discomfort you feel is the weight of growth. Don't flee from it, carry it with dignity. Because one day, you'll look back at this exact moment. The moment you thought you couldn't go on. And you'll realize it was the moment you were quietly becoming unstoppable. 2. Discipline, the quiet power that shapes the soul. Every great transformation begins in silence. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of struggle. Those hours when no one is watching. When the world sleeps and you wrestle with your own weakness. That is where discipline is born. People often mistake motivation for discipline. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning when the spark dies. Motivation fades with mood, but discipline survives the storm. When you train yourself to act not because you feel like it, but because it is right, you begin to master your own nature. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not found in doing whatever you please. It's in having power over what pleases you. To wake when your body begs to sleep. To speak with calm when your mind burns with anger. To stay the course when everything around you calls for comfort. That is discipline. Think of the sculptor and the stone. Each strike of the hammer looks destructive, yet it reveals beauty hidden within. That is what discipline does to the soul. It carves away laziness, pride, and fear until what remains is purpose. The world praises quick results, but the Stoic praises endurance. To rise each morning and face your duties, no applause, no reward, that is greatness. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you are rewriting your destiny quietly, one action at a time. The disciplined life is not glamorous. It's lonely at times. While others chase distractions, you repeat small, deliberate acts, reading when others scroll, training when others talk, reflecting when others sleep. But one day, those small acts accumulate into strength unrecognizable to the undisciplined. They wonder how you did it, yet you know it was built in moments no one saw. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily at dawn. When you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I have to go to work as a human being." He understood that duty itself is sacred. Your work, whatever it may be, is the altar on which you practice your discipline. So, stop waiting to feel ready. Read the book. Take the step. Start the thing you've postponed because you fear imperfection. Perfection is born from repetition, not hesitation. The Stoic doesn't chase the perfect moment. He creates it through action. There will be days you fail. Accept them. There will be mornings you break your own promises. Forgive yourself and begin again. Because discipline is not about never falling. It's about rising faster each time you do. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. That is the essence of Stoic discipline: to respond, not react, to choose purpose over impulse. And when life knocks you down, you rise quietly, without excuses, and continue the work. Every repetition of that choice builds character. Every refusal to quit strengthens your soul's armor. One day you will stand before a challenge that would have crushed the person you used to be, and you'll realize the work was worth it. Because the real reward of discipline is not achievement. It's peace. The peace of knowing you kept your word to yourself. The peace of looking in the mirror and meeting someone you can respect. And when others ask, "How do you stay so calm, so focused?" you'll smile because you'll know the truth. You became that person through discipline, one choice at a time. So today, take a deep breath. Commit to one act of discipline, however small. Write, train, reflect, learn. Do it not for praise, but because it aligns with who you are becoming. Remember, consistency is the language of greatness. Every day you show up, you speak it fluently. 3. Resilience, standing calm in the storm. Every life meets its storm. Some arrive as loss, some as betrayal, some as the long silence after. You've done everything right and nothing seems to move. It's easy to speak of strength when the sky is clear. Real resilience is born when the sky breaks open. A Stoic does not deny pain. He faces it. He feels it fully, but refuses to drown in it. He learns to breathe within the chaos. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The world will never run out of storms. But your reaction, that is your craft, your art, your training ground. Resilience begins the moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Try me." When everything you planned collapses. When people you trusted vanish. When the road ahead looks endless, pause. Take one step, and then another. That's resilience. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It's the quiet march of someone who refuses to surrender. Think of a tree standing through winter. The cold bites, the leaves fall, the branches tremble. But beneath the frozen soil, its roots deepen. That's you. Each hardship pushing your roots deeper into patience, into faith. You are not being buried, you are being planted. Sometimes life hides you for a season so you can grow unseen. That's why progress often feels like silence. Don't mistake silence for failure. It's the space where resilience forms. People will misunderstand your calm. They will say you've changed. They will mock your quiet because they can't understand power that doesn't shout. Let them. A Stoic knows that noise is cheap. Peace is expensive. When betrayal stings, don't become bitter, become wiser. When loss burns, don't curse fate, learn from its flame. You can't stop the world from hurting you, but you can decide that nothing will destroy your character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting." That's the secret. Turn every blow into a tool. Use rejection as redirection. Use hardship as instruction. Use pain as proof that you are still alive and still growing. You will stumble. You will question yourself. You will want to give up. But remember, resilience doesn't mean you never fall. It means you never stay down. When you rise again after disappointment, you carry something stronger than hope. You carry evidence of your own power. No book can teach you that. Only life can. There will come a day when the things that once broke you will no longer touch you. You'll move through the same chaos with a steady breath, a calm face, and a quiet heart. That's the reward of resilience. The storm will still roar, but you'll walk through it like someone who belongs there. Because you do. You've been training for it all along. Remember, the goal of the Stoic is not to escape pain, but to transcend it. Pain will visit, but it will not stay. Loss will come, but it will not define you. Because deep down, you've built something unshakable. Faith in yourself and trust in your path. So, when the world feels too heavy, breathe. Whisper to yourself, this is part of the plan. This is how I become who I'm meant to be. Trust that each trial carries meaning, even when you cannot see it yet. And as you walk forward through uncertainty, remember, you are not alone. Countless souls before you have stood in the same darkness, found the same strength, and risen with the dawn. You will too. Hold your ground. Keep your heart open. The storm passes, but the strength it leaves within you, that remains forever. For the quiet fire within, pain never truly leaves us. It just changes shape. At first, it burns. Then it whispers. And eventually, it becomes a quiet fire. One that fuels your discipline, your purpose, your strength. That's what Stoicism teaches, not to escape suffering, but to turn it into fuel. Marcus Aurelius said it best, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort, seeking soft places to hide, endless distractions to numb the truth. But a Stoic walks straight into the storm, because he knows the only way to peace is through the fire. Every wound you've carried, every betrayal you've endured, every night you thought would never end, they were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to carve you into someone who can't be broken again. You don't need to prove your strength to anyone. You prove it by remaining calm when chaos returns. You prove it by standing tall when life tries to bend you again. You prove it by choosing silence over rage, focus over fear, peace over panic. That's what real power looks like. Not in shouting, not in showing off, not in revenge, but in restraint. The one who controls himself controls the world. When you begin to understand this, something changes. You stop reacting. You stop explaining. You stop chasing validation. You simply do what must be done. With precision, with quiet confidence, with a mind that cannot be moved. Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." The moment you master that judgment, you master life itself. Think about it, the same fire that melts wax hardens steel. So what are you made of? When the pressure builds, will you melt? Or will you harden? The Stoic doesn't ask for an easy life. He asks for the strength to face a hard one without losing his virtue. Because life doesn't get easier. You get wiser. And wisdom, my friend, comes only through pain. Pain endured with patience, not panic. The truth is, life will always test you again. It will come disguised as rejection, loss, betrayal, or loneliness. And when it does, remember this. You've been here before, and you're still standing. You've walked through darkness so deep that most people would have collapsed. You've rebuilt yourself from ashes no one believed could rise again. That's not weakness. That's rebirth. Every scar is a story, not of defeat, but of survival. Every silence you kept instead of arguing was a victory. Every night you chose peace over pride, that was growth. So now, you walk differently. You speak less. You listen more. You move with a sense of inner gravity that no one can shake. You've become something rarer than success. You've become unshakable. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." And that's the secret. Freedom isn't having everything you want. Freedom is needing nothing but your own self-command. When you reach that point, where the world can no longer disturb your inner peace, you've already won. You've already become who you were meant to be. You'll still feel pain. You'll still face loss. But now, you'll face them with a steady mind and an open heart. You'll walk into chaos and remain untouched. You'll move through fire and not be burned. Because the Stoic flame doesn't destroy. It purifies. Now look around you at the world filled with noise, vanity, distraction. Everyone chasing something they can't even define. But you're different. You no longer chase. You attract through discipline, through purpose, through peace. The noise outside no longer matters because you've mastered the silence within. And in that silence, you've found power. The kind of power that doesn't shout, it radiates. So when people doubt you, smile. When they test you, remain calm. When they betray you, let go. Because you've learned the highest form of wisdom, the wisdom of control. You are not who you were. You are who you chose to become. And that choice, to endure, to stay composed, to remain grounded, is what separates the ordinary from the Stoic. So don't seek comfort. Seek clarity. Don't wish for an easier path. Train for a stronger mind. Don't wait for the world to change. Master yourself and the world will follow. Because in the end, the only true victory is peace. Not the peace that comes from comfort, but the peace that comes after battle. When you've faced every fear, endured every hardship, and found yourself standing taller than before. That's what it means to live as a Stoic. Not emotionless, not detached, but fully alive, aware, unshaken, and infinitely calm in the middle of life's storm. If this message resonated with you, if you're tired of being broken by things you can't control, if you're ready to build a mind that nothing can destroy, then take the next step, not just to listen, but to live this. Because this is not just philosophy. This is a way of life, the way of unbreakable peace. Welcome to Stoic Beam, where strength is silent, wisdom speaks softly, and your transformation begins. Subscribe, reflect, rise.